Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Mystic Inspirations. My name is Leanne, and I'll be bringing you your July forecast. Okay, so I've shuffled and dealt out the cards. We have your overall theme or underlying thread is the moon. And so this month in July, it's sort of going to weave through your weeks, and what this means is you're going to need to use your intuition, because there's some things that may not be what they seem to be. Okay, so Gemini, if you're getting offers that seem too good to be true, they probably are. I feel also like you might be dealing with some people who are trying to project that they are one type of person, but in fact they are another. Okay, so there might be a job situation that comes up, or a situation with coworkers, and it something isn't right. Okay, it's appearing differently from what it actually is. So keep that in mind this month, Gemini, when you're encountering situations. Just know that you're going to have to really use your intuition, and your own enlightenment to decipher what is, the true essence of what you're dealing with. Okay, so I will leave this here as our underlying thread. I've picked a card for each week of the month. We're starting out the month with the Eight of Swords. Now, there are no hard starts and stops in tarot. Okay, so this could be energy that has already happened. I'm actually filming this the end of June, so quite possible that you've already sort of encountered this um, stuck negative mental energy, and this is a mental energy card. Um, this isn't actually being stuck. This is paralyzing yourself with negative thoughts and fears. Okay, so you have some fears, some doubts, some people telling you you're not good enough, or whatever this is. At the beginning of the month, you're sort of stuck. You're like, okay, I'm not, I can't do anything. But that's all in your head, Gemini, because maybe this is exactly what you need. Okay, we're coming on uh, towards the second week of the month. We have the Tower card. Okay, now here in the States, it is a celebration of the 4th of July, although that's in the first week of the month. However, again, there's no hard starts and stops. There's lots of explosions. There's lots of excitement. But this Tower card is a shake-up card. And looking at your other cards here, let me just run through. We have, for the middle slash third week in the month, we have the Three of Cups. So we're talking friendships, celebrations, a group of your loyal compadres. And then we're ending the fourth week with Five of Pentacles, which, may give you the feeling of isolation and sort of standing alone in things, and maybe a loss. Okay, so here's what this is showing me, Gemini, is that you have a situation where you're sort of stuck in your head. Okay, again, you're going to have to thread some intuition into whatever situation this is. This is a general reading, so I apologize that everything seems a little bit vague. Okay, um, but if it doesn't apply to you, please feel free to watch your moon or rising sign, and you know what? Take what you can, and if it doesn't apply, please, just move on to the next. So use your intuition, Gemini. You've got a lot of negative doubts, fears, um, negative communication, either with yourself or with somebody else. And this is usually, since it's an 8, I always feel like it's that never-ending tape that runs through your mind, right? Sometimes based all the way back from childhood, where you have I'm not good looking enough, not strong enough, tall enough, pretty enough, thin enough, heavy enough, muscular enough, athletic enough, whatever it is, you're not enough. Okay, and so sometimes those tapes continue to run through your head. I mean, it could have been from, first grade, a math teacher told you you're never going to amount to anything because you couldn't add two and two together, or whatever, whatever it is that stuck in your mind, and it actually really kind of scarred you. Um, you're you're sort of hanging on to that negativity. It's stalling you. It's stranding you. It's paralyzing you. So um, towards the second week, we have something that is going to shake things up. Okay? Now, the Tower card doesn't have to be a negative um, upheaval, but it can be. It can feel like it is. It can feel like the foundation has come out from under your feet and the roof is off of the house. Like this could really feel uneasy. But the trick to this card is, well, there's no trick to it, but I mean, the upside to this card is that it's a necessary upheaval. Okay, this could be, for example, let's say, you're moving to a different location. Things could just be topsy-turvy, and all of a sudden, the things aren't working right in the house, and you end up backing out of it, but because of it, you ended up in something better. Okay, this upheaval always means, yes, it's disruptive, but there's something good coming out of it. Okay, Gemini, this could be a baby. Yeah, babies are disruptive, but they're wonderful, right? Car trouble can be very disruptive, but if it lends you to, a place where you're keeping a better eye on, your air pressure in your tires and things like that, then it ended up being a good thing. Okay, so second week we've got this little upheaval happening, and then we've got this Three of Cups here. This hanging out with friends, your support group. I really feel as if somebody in your group isn't who they say they are. Okay? I also feel like you know it and you just haven't said anything. Okay? You feel a little bit stuck. But you know that somebody isn't who they portray themselves to be. And maybe that truth comes out and it disrupts everything. Okay? And it disrupts this group. This group is no longer, because maybe this disruptive happening, somebody shows their true colors. And then, of course, because of it, somebody gets kind of kicked out of the club, feeling isolated, feeling alone. Okay? So it might be, Gemini, that, you've have these negative thoughts about these friends, and then all of a sudden somebody spouts off and says, well, she didn't really like her anyway, or he thought this guy was a jerk anyway. And so what used to be this nice, group of friends, somebody gets kicked out in the cold. Okay, somebody gets cast out because of this disruption, or this disruption makes somebody in your group, somebody in your support feels left out in the cold. Okay, just remember, Gemini, this this is a necessary disruption. It's an inevitable disruption, and this feeling of isolation is just a moment. Okay, this is not a lifelong sentence. If you've lost a friend, go through the grieving period. Yes, you lost some, maybe good times in the future, but you might just look at things and go, if that's how they're going to be, then I guess they weren't really my friend anyway. And this can relate to a job. This could relate to, coworkers. There could be just this giant upheaval at work, and or information that is negative about somebody at work, and you don't know what to do because you don't want to be the snitch or whatever. And then there's a disruption that happens, and all of a sudden these coworkers are kind of ganging up on you because they think you snitched, or maybe you did, uh, and so you're left out in the cold. Okay. Um, let's see what's coming to help you, Gemini, because this is looking kind of, a little bit troublesome. Um, help that's coming to you is the Nine of Cups. Okay, this is traditionally the wish card. So basically, that which fulfills your heart, and that is usually, love, emotion, very much spiritual. That what fills your heart is coming to you. Okay, this is something I'm thinking is very much related to this tower energy, in that there's a disruption that needed to happen. And then once this disruption happens, your cups will be filled, okay? You will have that fulfillment, okay, Gemini? And what's happening and what could also hinder is the Nine of Wands. Whoops. So this Nine of Wands energy, this is sort of the wounded warrior card. Excuse me. Now, this to me says what's happening is, you know what, you've laid your stakes. There's 8 of them already in the ground, and you still have one more to do. And by golly, you'll do it. Um, this is happening. This is, you are tired. You're near the end of whatever this situation is, but there is still work to do. Okay. Now, how this would hinder you is if you take this um, into a stance of sort of um, that energy of I'm going to do it my way, sort of, indicating that, you've done it this many times and you're going to do it your way because you know how to do it best. Okay? This can be sort of a pompous attitude, just where you feel like maybe you're better than somebody else. And so, although there is work to do, and yes, you have done things your way and everything's been fine, there's still more work to be done. And you know what? You're almost done. So don't take on the energy of, don't quit before you're done, first off. That could definitely hinder your movement. And since you are getting some fulfilling energy coming towards you, that may help push you through to the end. 9s are almost the end, okay? And again, the Moon card, threading her way through. Use your intuition when it comes to finishing this project, okay? Use your intuition. This project, this passionate endeavor, this relationship, whatever the situation is, use your intuition. Again, this Moon card is being really strong here. But you're almost towards the end, Gemini. So plant that stake where you need to plant it to finish things up, but use your intuition in doing so. Because what's happening is you do need to finish with one before you can move on to the other. Okay? Yes, we know you did all this work and you did all this work and you did all this work over here, but you still have one in your hand. Okay? You still have a card to play. There's still something that needs to be said. There is an action that needs to be taken. Okay? You already know what that is. You have been stuck and stalled in your mind about it. And you also feel like, since this is happening, since you know you have that one more ace to play, right? It's going to disrupt some things. You know that. You know that once you plant that last wand, once you say that last thing, once you do that last deed, this is going to lead you to this, or at least it's going to lead you to feel like this, okay? Um, it's also going to bring celebration, okay? It's going to bring some celebration. Gemini, don't feel like you won't be able to have that feeling of weight lifted off your shoulders, okay? Just know that this isolated, out in the cold feeling, there's money growing on this tree, okay? It's wintertime. This tree is not dead. It's just in a resting stage, okay? So don't quit before you're done. Take that final step. Plant that final wand, okay? Because then what we're ending the month with is the Chariot. And the Chariot is ultimate victory. This is pushing through obstacles. This is keeping focused on what it is you want and directing your life accordingly. Okay? This is taking the bull by the horns. This is, literally directing your life. You're in the driver's seat. Okay? This is the Chariot card. This is, again, ultimate success. This, I feel, is very much related to this wish card here, this Nine of Cups. You're going to have success once you get out of this negative energy, this negative mental energy. Once you have, because this is happening, there's one more thing that needs to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen soon, if it hasn't already. Okay? This Nine of Wands, this is happening. Okay? There is a passionate situation that it's coming to an end, and it's going to be disruptive. But Gemini, just remember, you have your friends, you have your support group, and you know who they are. Okay? They're not going to let you feel this isolated, out in the cold by yourself. You're not going to feel this for very long, because Gemini, you do have your support group. Okay? So whatever this is pertaining to, there's going to be success. But just know you do have some work to do. You've got to use your intuition and really just know what is right in your heart. Not everything is what it is appearing to be right now. So, if you're with somebody who is not, you might have that gut feeling, oh, they're probably not who they say they are, but they're very nice, or, but my mother loves her, or, whatever. If you have that feeling about something or somebody, I'm saying run. Okay? Don't walk, run. You know that your gut feeling will not steer you wrong. And once you do that, you will have ultimate success. Okay? All right, Gemini. This was kind of an intense reading, but definitely positive. I hope you have an amazing July, and I will be back here in August. Thanks.